Okay, so now we're going to do step 9. The title of this story is The Postman, but before we start, I'm going to have you read this list of high-frequency words up here, just to make sure you're familiar. So you can read them out loud.
Pour out like this. He, her.
Okay, this one,
Mrs.
yeah, like we often call teachers like Ms. no matter what, but yeah, that's Mrs. Good. And I don't believe there are any vocabulary words that I pulled out of this. So you're going to read this silently to yourself. You're going to use a pencil, mechanical pencil or something to phrase, so that you're scooping the phrases as you read and to track, okay? And remember, while you're doing that, you're really trying to make a picture in your head about what's happening. So trying to imagine where the postman is, what other people he's interacting with, who else, and what happens, okay? Okay, so who's in the story with the postman?
The dog.
And who else?
Miss Russell.
Okay, so Mrs. Russell, and who does the dog belong to?
Miss Russell.
Okay, so tell me how these people go together in this story.
The dog goes after the postman, and Mrs. Russell has to hold him back.
Okay. And why was the postman there? What was he doing?
Dropping off a box.
Okay, so he had a box for Mrs. Russell,
Mm-hmm.
and the dog ran it, the postman. And you said Mrs. Russell had to. How did she get the dog to stop?
She held her.
Did she? What does this mean?
Oh, commander. She told him to stop.
Okay, so she told the dog to stop, and did the dog stop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it said it was well bred, so had good manners, right? Okay. What else do we learn about the dog?
Didn't want to bite him.
Right. It didn't mean any harm, right? But how did the postman feel about having a dog charging at him?
Not good.
Yeah. The postman didn't really want to take a chance, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So can you read this out loud to me now and really work on scooping your phrases so that you have some nice expression?
The postman had a box for Miss Russell. He got out of his van, and a big dog ran at him.
Good.
The postman ran back to jump in the van. Miss Russell had to command her dog to stop. It was a well-bred dog. It did not intend to bite, but the postman did not wish to find out. Miss Russell held her dog, and then she got her box.
Good. Okay. So you did a nice job phrasing those, and I'm sure you noticed that there were commas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And commas are a great clue to help us figure out the end of a phrase, right? So you observed all of those commas, and that's just something that's a strategy that you can use whenever you're reading something new. If you pay attention to that punctuation, or semicolons are another one, right? Will help you know when to pause or take a break. So good job with that. We are going to do next, we'll do part 10, which is listening comprehension, okay? So I'm going to read to you, okay? And you're just going to listen, okay? This is a continuation of remember the last article that we read was about summer trips, like places that you could go. So they have some more places that they want to tell us about in this. And so the title of this is Summer Trip, Stop Here, right? And you're just going to listen while I read, and I want you to just really focus on trying to picture things. So I will read about one place, and then I'm going to ask you kind of what your how you visualize that place, okay? And then we'll go on to the next one, okay? Last week, we told you about some odd pit stops that are perfect for checking out while on a summer trip. This week, we will tell you about some more distinct American spots that you might want to add to your list of must-see sites. If you ever find yourself on the west coast of the United States, take some time to see all the hip sites in Seattle, Washington. One disgusting but interesting thing you should witness is the Gum Wall. It is located in a back alley near Pike Place Market, an old and busy public market. The Gum Wall began taking shape in the 1990s. Men and women standing in line for events would stick their gum on the wall. This habit went on for the next 20 years until the wall became a canvas of sticky, colorful gum. Tourists and locals both came by the wall to take it all in. Then, in 2015, a nonprofit wanted to scrub the alley. It did its best to wash and scrape off the gum. By the end of this task, the alley was spotless. This did not last for long. The public kept sticking its gum to the wall, so globs of gum have begun to collect for the second time. Okay. So where is the place and what's it called? Do you remember?
The Gum Wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Seattle.
Good. And can you remember what they said about where it is in Seattle?
In an alley.
Yeah, it's in an alley in the back, near a particular market, Pike Place Market. It's apparently kind of famous. My husband went out there and he brought us all back Pike Place t-shirts. So I guess it's famous. How did the gum wall come to be?
People stuck their gum on it, waiting in line.
Mm-hmm. Do you know how long it's been going on? When it started?
I'm not sure, but I know it's been a while.
It has been a long time. This says in the 1990s people started doing that. So, so there's this big wall, right? And it's covered with gum. But at the end, almost at the end of the reading, they describe something that happened, right? What?
A nonprofit came in and took the gum wall.
Mm-hmm. And then what happened?
Then people started putting it back on again.
Yeah. So the gum wall is still there. Okay. You ready? The next one? Mm-hmm. If you like secrets, you're going to love this next spot. It is called the Georgia Guidestones. I'm